This is Mahesh Ravi, and in this tutorial, we're going to try a very simple visual effects that can be used in your social media feed. So the technique is called out of frame animations, and it's pretty easy to create. So let's jump right into it. So I have a Figma document here, and I've designed this frame there. So if you take a look at this, you can see that it's basically a simple frame with a green background, and I've created this rectangle box here, and then I've added some hashtag and text which looks like the bottom tab of a social media post, right? So I'm just trying to emulate that effect. So note that I haven't placed it at the bottom, but instead of that I've placed it in the middle of this post, so that what we are trying to do is that we will actually play out an animation in the background, and one element from that animation will basically come out of this frame, move in front of this part, and then go into this area. So that creates a 3D effect, and that's what we are trying to achieve. So there are so many ways to do this, but I'm going to show you a very simple way workaround. So what we are trying to do is we are going to export this frame. Now here again, when you are exporting, you can just take this and export it as a PNG, but the placement, you will have a slight problem with it. So that's the reason I'm just exporting the whole frame here. So I'm just exporting the whole frame as a PNG, and let's click export. So we have the file which is exported as a PNG right here. So now what we need is we need a video editor a platform. We can do this in Adobe Premiere, you can do this in Final Cut Pro, you can do this in VN Editor. There are so many options available, but here I'm going to try and use Adobe After Effects for it. So let's go to After Effects. All right, we are in After Effects. Let's set up our scenes. Let's close this off and create a new composition. We will actually match it with the composition that we have created in Figma. So that is 1080 by 1080. It's running for 30 seconds. That's fine right now. So click OK. And we can now import the assets that we have. So let's go to the project window right here and import the Instagram post. So we have that here. I'm going to add it right into our composition. It automatically built a composition. Let it be there. But what we are going to do is it automatically added the composition here into this. So we can see that we have a composition with our layer, and that runs for 30 seconds. That's what we need. So now the asset that we need to put in the background, that's also going to be important. So what we are going to do is we will find a video. So ideally, a video with a green background is going to work really easy for you. So I found a video which had a green background. So I'm going to bring that video here. It's basically a shark. And this is a very long video, so I don't need the entire video. So I'm just going to mark the areas that I basically need it in. So I have the footage of this right here, and I can mark the point that I need. So I basically need it from a top angle. So I'm going to take something from here. So I'm going to mark that in point. Take a little bit of that, maybe something here. So I just need this. Now if I drag and drop our shark into our scene, we have the shark in here on top of the composition that we have, and it's only running for 10 seconds. That's fine right now. We can just click and extend it to 30 seconds if we need it. So 30 seconds of this is playing right now with the scene already have a green background, right? So that's already there. We don't need the green. So what we are going to do is we're going to go here and click on search for Keylight 1.2, drag and drop it into the shark footage, select the eyedropper tool and click on that. And so that green around the shark is gone. And you can see that this is just the shark right now, and it's right there. So what we are going to do is we will basically put it somewhere here. So when the animation is starting, the shark is right here. And what we want to do is that when maybe it reaches this particular point, it needs to move over to the top, right? So what we are going to do here is that this is a video layer already. So what we will do is that we'll expand the shark layer, click on the transform area, and then create a keyframe in position. So what it means that it is recording the position of the shark at this area right now. And what we want is that maybe at this time, we need the shark to slowly go into this side, right? So now if I play back, you can see that the shark is sort of there right now. And when it reaches this, it will start swimming towards the other side right now, and it goes really cool, really well right now. So this is interesting, right? So it's in the frame and then goes over the, the text layer, and then it goes to the other side of it. So it actually looks really interesting. Now we need a background here. We need some sort of background to say that that's water basically. So we'll find that. We'll actually look for an image to put it there. So let's go to Google and look for some underwater texture. Okay, let's take this image. It's a stock image, but that's fine right now. So let's bring that image right into our project. So I'm just going to take it and drag it to our project window. We have that image. So we're going to drag and drop it under the Instagram post layer that we got from Figma. So again, the problem is that we cannot see that image because there is a top, Instagram post there. But let's not worry about that, and let's keep the scene interesting. So we have this right now, and this is how the shark is moving right now. It's just interesting. The water is not animating. That's fine. That's fine because it's just a tutorial. We can also use the footage of, a video footage of the water and make it look like it is moving. But, I'm not going to go there right now. So we have this currently, and let's bring the Instagram post back. Now what we need is, we need this green also to be removed. The same thing, we're going to add the key light to the Instagram post and click to remove the green from there, and we right now have the post ready, right? So we can click and see the shark is there, and at that time it is going to move from there, starting to move, and it's going to go there to the top. So this is our animation. This is looking pretty good right now. So as I told you, for the frame, you can import it with the transparent layer itself. You don't have to remove the green, but I'm just showing it to you. If you're designing it, and if you're designing it without a background and exporting it as a PNG, then you don't need to do this step. So we're here right now. We have created this. Now to make it a little more interesting, let's create a shadow of the shark when it is passing to the next layer, next level. Let's create a shadow here because the light is coming from the top, and then there should be some sort of shadow. It'll be interesting, and it'll add a little more realism to the whole thing. So to create the shadow, the easiest way to create the shadow is to basically duplicate the shark. So we're going to take the shark and duplicate it. We have 2 layers of the shark right now. I'm going to take and offset the shark a little bit. So to do that, take the bottom layer of the shark and move it a little here. So now there is a shadow. There's basically a shadow coming there. And we can also do that, offset a little here as well. Or you can just manipulate the framing by just changing the position of these curve, the animation curve or the trajectory that this is having. So I think this actually looks pretty interesting. Okay, it goes there. So now what we're going to do is, it doesn't look like shadow, it is basically a duplicate of it. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add some curves modifier. So let's add some curves into the shark, reduce the brightness, flatline it so that it will be like hard black right now. And we can add a little bit of blur. So I'm just going to go and add a Gaussian blur. That will work. And increase the blurriness a little bit so that it looks like a shadow. We can also play around with the opacity of this layer and reduce it. So that's a very light shadow. Now, another thing that we want to actually do here is that we want the shadow to be visible only when it is crossing this white patch. Otherwise, there is nothing else to cast the shadow. So to do that, what we are going to do is we are going to mask this layer. So what we'll do is we'll take the shark layer and we'll create a rectangular mask in this area, just on top of this box. Okay, we created a mask like that. So now what happens is that only when the shark is going to go over that, it is going to cast a shadow only in that area. So export it as an MP4. Hope you found this useful. I'll see you with another video soon. Thank you.